in drought emergencies, flood damage, stressed salmon runs, and uncertainty for communities trying to plan their future, whether that's to create jobs or build new housing, or to ensure a reliable supply of safe drinking water. I've worked at every level of government, federal, state, county, city, even tribal. And one thing I've learned over and over again is this: partnerships drive meaningful, durable solutions. Because when we sit down together, when we listen, when we challenge each other, we create solutions that people can see themselves in. Washington's water future is designed to bring people together from across our state: communities, tribes, farmers, businesses, utilities, environmental groups, and local leaders, to help shape a path forward for people, fish, and farms. Over the coming months, we'll hold regional roundtables to better understand the realities facing different watersheds. We're going to examine what's working, where the gaps are, and what kinds of investments and policy changes will be needed in the years ahead. Or more simply, whether we have the right tools in the toolbox. We know there's no single solution that works everywhere. But the good news is we have examples of innovation and collaboration happening today. Here at Brightwater, King County is helping lead the way on water recycling. You know, we recycle so many things in this state, we need to start thinking the same way about water. In other parts of the state, communities are exploring aquifer storage to capture water underground during wetter months to use later. Agricultural producers are finding new ways to conserve water and improve efficiencies. Restoration work in wetlands, floodplains, and riparian areas is helping reduce flood risk, recharge groundwater, and support healthier streams. And in the Yakima Basin, leaders are proving what's possible when people stay at the table and work through difficult water challenges. The strength of that partnership has resulted in over $1 billion in federal and state investment through the years. Water is life. The choices we make over the next few years will shape water availability and the life, communities, and opportunities that depend on it for decades to come. Washington's water future is not something that simply happens. It is something that we're going to build together, starting today. Thank you very much. And with that, I'm going to invite Suquamish Tribal Chairman Leonard Forsman to the podium here, who's going to talk about the impact to tribes, particularly salmon, and the need for solutions and how we can work together. Chairman Forsman.
Lima, please see.
Can you sit this right here? Is that okay? Will that bother you?
Won't bother me at all.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Actually, I'm Leonard Forsman, Chairman of the Suquamish Tribe, and it's a great honor to be here to help as part of the team assembled to address this important issue. It's good to be here at Brightwater. The memories of working on this project as a consultant and also as a consulting tribe, and know a lot of good things are happening as far as trying to treat wastewater, and also good to hear about the recycling. As has been said, much of what was said in Casey's remarks are ones that are, of course, very apparent to us at the Suquamish Tribe, home of Chief Seattle. Chief Seattle said every part of this soil is sacred to my people, and gave life to everything. Our people gave life to everything, whether it be a tree, a rock, a mountain, a stream, or the Salish Sea. We see these things as all having an important role and part of our survival, both as people and as a culture, and for our spirituality. And of course, the impacts of climate change are making a situation that was already pretty dire as it was before, because of habitat destruction that's happened to a lot of our salmon habitat in the region. That this has made it even harder because of the drought conditions and also the floods that are occurring. So in Suquamish and other tribes have been really working on resilience and investing in doing estuary restoration and protection and removing fill from estuaries and those types of things in order to make accommodation for the changing environment. even interventions like transporting fish when necessary, when the stream flows are too low, the water's too warm, or making channel changes in order to make the water deeper for Chinook salmon to be able to get up to the spawning grounds. So low flows and high temperatures are bad for salmon. Hatcheries also lack enough water to keep operations going. Our hatchery at Grover's Creek, we haven't been able to expand because of just the lack of water availability and also water quality. One of those, of course, is the fact that we have a lot of wells, and they're both through utility districts and also private wells that draw on the groundwater. And on Kitsap Peninsula, we're an aquifer-based recharge system. So those have big impacts on us. So we know the priority in the past has been people and farms, and then fish habitat comes in later. And we need to try to balance that. And I think that we have the people in the room here to be willing to try to balance all of those things. It's going to be hard. It's going to take, it's going to take trust first, and it's going to take some responsibility upon the public to reduce usage and be educated about water usage. And I notice the kids coming through here. I'm sure Brightwater does a good job of educating our young people about how to use water, how to preserve water for the future. And there's laws that need to be enforced. There's laws, state and federal laws that need to be enforced, and people need to follow. And we need to make sure that the tribal rights to fish, tribal water rights are also recognized. And I think by Casey inviting me here, he's doing that. Those have not been adjudicated, but we really believe that they need and will be part of the water management future here in Washington. And just to end, I'd just like to reference the fact that, as Suquamish people and as tribal people, I'm also president of Affiliated Tribes of Northwest Indians, and you learn that we're all connected by the salmon, and that we think about the 7 generations that are going forward. We also think about those 7 generations going back and what they left for us and what we want to leave for the future. So I just hope for the best and look forward to the meetings coming up this summer. And thank you again, Casey, for the opportunity to say a few words. Go ahead, Judge.
Thank you, Chairman Forsman. Next, I'm going to call to the podium King County Council Member Claudia Balducci.
Thank you so much, Director Sixkiller, and all the staff at the Washington State Department of Ecology for this important work and bringing us together today to announce it. I feel like I should say a welcome to this outpost of King County in the midst of Snohomish County here at Brightwater. We're very proud of this facility and the work we do here and the innovations that come from here. My name is Claudia Balducci. I am a county council member for District 6, which is East King County, parts of Bellevue, Kirkland, Redmond, all of Mercer Island, and the Points communities. And for the last several years, I have chaired our King County's Regional Water Quality Committee, where we concern ourselves with availability, accessibility, and cleanliness of our waterways, especially with regard to things that are impacted as part of this cycle: our wastewater treatment, our storm water, and the cleanliness of our streams and bodies of water. I think Director Sixkiller put his finger right on it when he said water is life. That is what we're talking about here. We're talking about our ability to live together and to have safe, accessible, and equitable communities when we have clean and ample water supply. King County's water system infrastructure is aging, and we continue to have a growing county and a growing population that has increasing demand. These systems will need expansion and replacement, and that's expensive. Also, because of climate change, we're seeing increased storms, increased flooding and other weather events, as well as higher temperatures, affecting all aspects of our water systems. And these factors, in addition, our economy, as an East King County person, I wouldn't be being open with y'all if I didn't say the growing tech sector, which we all benefit from in so many ways, is also driving water demand for cooling systems for the various facilities that they are building and expanding in our county. And all of this means that we have to focus on water supply now. We cannot wait until the crisis arrives, and we have to keep an eye to the affordability of our region. Water rates are going up. Sewer rates are going up, stormwater rates are going up. We are adding tremendously to the burden on families when we don't attend to the affordability of our systems, and that is going to be a part of this effort as well. At King County, we're trying to be smart about our work. We're trying to be innovative. We have lots of really great minds at the county working on these kinds of water issues, and you'll hear a lot more about that from our King County Wastewater Treatment Director, Cameron Gurl, in a moment. But I want to point out on the stormwater side, a partnership between King County scientists and University of Washington scientists were the people who discovered that the cause of what was killing salmon in our water streams was the tire dust problem, and they also are the ones who are developing the solutions. So we know we have the knowledge and the innovation here in our region to solve these problems and work together to do so. Very excited to participate in the regional roundtables. At King County, we know a thing or two about pulling together regional roundtables for clean water. We know how difficult it can be, how disparate the interests are, but how important they all are. And so I am so grateful to Ecology, to the state, to Director Sixkiller and the governor for taking this step. It's very important, but let us not kid ourselves. It's going to be difficult work. I love that it's the acronym for this project is WWF. There may need to be some smackdowns involved. But we will be there for all of them, and we know we're going to come out the other side with something really important for our region and our state. Thank you so much for including us.
I was waiting for the WWF reference. Thank you very much. Next up, I thank the Mayor of Linden, Scott Cortius. Did I say that right? Cortice. I'm sorry. I apologize, Mayor, for making the trek down from Linden this morning. Mr. Mayor.
Well, thank you for inviting me to speak today on behalf of smaller cities. My city, Linden, is a rural agricultural community located on the Nooksack River in northern Whatcom County, actually near the Canadian border. It is a city of nearly 17,000 people today and has grown 30% over the past 15 years. We are doing our part to balance the issues that come with growth. Under state law, we need to provide appropriate growth while minimizing the impact that growth has on our environment and the general quality of life. Water availability sits at the intersection of these mandates and is essential to our ability to grow. Put simply, Linden does not have sufficient water to meet the needs of our growing population. This has forced us to become innovative and seek a number of different approaches to secure water for our needs. Here are 3 examples of solutions that are helping meet our water needs. First, we have purchased a water association well that would have been abandoned when that association was annexed into our city. The creativity came in how we conveyed that water using a stream and moved it to the Nooksack River ahead of our intake. Second, we have a system that helps us recycle the local Dairygold plant, the local water from the Dairygold plant in our city. This plant imports milk from all over the Northwest and makes powder milk, and its discharge is distilled water. The City of Linden built a system to capture this distilled water that used to go to our wastewater outflow, and instead now that clean water is put back into the river just above the city's intake. It can now be used as a source of drinking water, a very innovative solution. Third, Linden has a project underway to take the water from the river during the high flows and store it underground in the aquifer. This has already been mentioned here today. This is where it can slowly discharge back into the Nooksack River during times of lower flows. These so-called managed aquifer recharge projects are in the early stages but are showing some promise in our area. As our community continues its search for solutions to provide sustainable water to our community, we also know that things are changing in our region. More water is arriving in the winter and more often accompanied by damaging floods, and less water is available in the summer. We need to plan our solutions for growth, and these are changing conditions. I'm excited about the opportunity that comes with this new initiative. I know there are a range of untapped solutions from different areas, from different ways to store water and to recycling. There are financial, legal, and regulatory challenges to get these solutions deployed on the ground, and I look forward to sharing our experience by exploring the opportunities for a broader solution to our water challenges this summer. and to do this in partnership with many other organizations, farmers, tribes, and other communities that need to be part of these conversations. I want to thank the Governor for recognizing the importance of these conversations and look forward to working with Ecology and thank them for their leadership here. This work is critical to help us meet the needs of our communities, that our communities face both today and into the future. Thank you again for allowing me to speak today.
Next, I want to ask John Devaney, the president of the Washington State Tree Fruit Association, to join us.
Thank you, Director. As the Governor mentioned, water is about life, and that includes food and our economy. I am here representing the Washington State Tree Fruit Association, all the apple, pear, and cherry growers, most of whom are in central Washington, which has long known that water is a more constrained resource that might be evident on the west side of the state. We have had an ongoing challenge in the Yakima Basin in particular going back to the 1970s. We in the Yakima Basin, through a lawsuit, Ecology versus Aquavella, embarked on a 40-year water adjudication process. About 30 years into that, basin stakeholders realized we're sorting out a lot of the details of the problem and prioritization within that scarce resource. We're not really solving anything for any user of that system. As a result, the stakeholders, both irrigators, tribes, state, federal, and local governments, and environmental advocates all came to the table to come up with an integrated plan to try to address water issues in the Yakima Basin. That includes addressing fish passage, habitat protection, both in riparian areas and upland, operational efficiencies to the irrigation and water management systems, on-farm conservation investments, and surface and groundwater storage to ensure better water management. That process has been going on for about 18 years and is just at the beginning of implementation. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done there. I think that it's important to recognize, though, that the climate change we are seeing is shortening that runway. And that's why this statewide effort to use that model, but try to start now for other basins that haven't yet gotten to where Yakima was in the 1970s, is so important. Because we're not only seeing a shortened window for addressing water management challenges, we're also seeing climate change stressing the system even worse. One of the main irrigation districts in the Yakima Basin is the Yakima-Tieton Irrigation District, serving 28,000 acres in several municipalities. In 2024, its entire canal system was burned over in the Retreat wildfire. Subsequently, atmospheric rivers meant we had severe flooding, causing further damage to that system, and debris sliding down denuded hills to further damage that system, to the point that they're not certain from day to day if that system will blow out when water is in it. This is a clear example of the need to not only plan long-term, but be prepared to see that hole that we're already in get a little bit deeper. That's why it's so critical that we start these collaborative planning processes now, and we strongly commend the Governor and Director Sixkiller for initiating this process and look forward to participating in it. Thank you.
Thanks, John. I want to also acknowledge Tom Tebb, who has joined us today, who is a longtime director of Ecology's Office of the Columbia River and really a driving force, among others, in bringing that Yakima integrated plan together and keeping it moving forward. So thank you very much, Tom, for being here. The theme of the day is partnership, and so much of what we're talking about today, and certainly what John just referenced, couldn't be done without having strong partners in the legislature and the laws and the funding that goes with their implementation. So I'm delighted to have State Representative Devania Dorr here today, whose district we're in, and with that, I'll turn it to you.
This always happens. Thank you, Director Sixkiller. I'm so pleased to be here. I think when I was first invited to this event, I can only describe my feeling as relief. I live along the Sammamish River, and I have said ad nauseum to whoever's taking my daily walk with me, oh my gosh, I've never seen the river this high, this sustaining, and that can only mean, A, it's raining and not snowing in the mountains, or B, the snowpack is melting. And I've heard several times, yeah, you said that yesterday. So like I said, very relieved. I've long been concerned about water issues. As a gardener, you can't help but notice when it rains, how often it rains. And I've had a water barrel for about 15 years, and I've begun to wonder if I need 2 water barrels. And I remember my daughter has a birthday in August, and I can remember when Augusts were cold and rainy. And she would say, but it's my birthday. So in 2021, I have a little experience with water legislation, not a lot, but in 2021 I did sponsor a bill that required rulemaking for risk-based water quality standards for on-site treatment, and I think that's just the beginning of what we need to do. The legislature stands ready to help. I'm a little worried by council members about Balducci's comment about the smackdown, because I'm afraid it's going to be a smackdown on the legislature for funding and whatever else. But I did want to mention, in 2025, we did pass legislation to provide funding to relieve immediate drought conditions. And we've got a couple of bills that have been introduced but not passed so far that include addressing small water systems, affordability and accessibility for resilience planning, and groundwater permitting and mitigation for water planning under scarcity. So, we've heard from the other speakers, we've had so many years of drought, and water sustains life, not just our life, but, trees and salmon and whatnot, and it's a critical time to address these before it quickly spirals out of our control. And so I'm just really grateful, and I offer myself, and I'll speak for the legislature, as partners in this process. And very excited to hear what comes of the roundtables, and I'm ready to help where I can.
Today we are at the Christy True Environmental Science Center. Did I get that right, Cameron? And I had the pleasure of working with Christy when I was the Chief Operating Officer at King County, and I think she'd be really proud of the fact that we're here today launching this effort. King County's long been a leader on these issues, and I think it was an easy decision to ask / sort of volunteer King County to host us today here at Brightwater. But I want to turn it over to Cameron now from the Wastewater Treatment Division to tell us a little bit more about this place and anything else you want to offer. Come, Cameron. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Director Sixkiller and Chairman Forsman and other regional leaders. We very much appreciate Ecology's focus on shared challenges like drought. And as we prepare for climate impacts in King County and as our population grows, a focus on clean water remains essential. At the Wastewater Treatment Division, our hardworking frontline operators collect and clean millions of gallons of wastewater every day. We do that to protect public health and protect the environment. We also look continuously for innovative opportunities to prepare for the future. Here at the Brightwater Treatment Plant, operators use advanced filtration systems and disinfection mechanisms to produce Class A recycled water, which we test regularly to ensure safety and quality. Recycled water can be used for a variety of different purposes, like industrial uses, commercial cooling, or as a renewable resource for landscaping and agriculture, keeping more water in rivers for fish and other wildlife, especially during hot summers. Here at Brightwater, our purple pipe distributes over 50 million gallons of recycled water every year to a handful of users. For example, the Willows Run Golf Complex, 60 Acres Community Park, and the Buttonwood Tree Farm. We also produce recycled water at our South Treatment Plant in Renton, where it's used for sports fields, and at Carnation, where it enhances nearby wetlands. And at this point, we're using it on a comparatively smaller scale. And in the coming years, we plan to partner with cities and drinking water utilities to explore expanding that use of recycled water to benefit our environment and the economy. In fact, we're embarking on a comprehensive planning process right now to explore the future what future the region wants for recycled water. There are many opportunities. There are some hard questions to answer, and partnerships will be necessary to make sure we make the right decisions. We're looking forward to Ecology's initiative, and we really appreciate serving as the initial forum to get this kick-started. So thank you for coming here to Brightwater. Thank you for your regional leadership, and I wish us all good luck on this endeavor to figure out our water future. That concludes my remarks. I'll mention that if you are joining us for the tour, you can see Erica over here, and she'll lead us on to the start of that process where you can get your personal protective equipment, as our staff is wearing in the back, you can see. Thanks for being here.
As you can see, we're off to a great start. And I am, again, just so thankful to all of the leaders that have been able to join us today, for everyone have traveled to be here. This is a significant challenge, but an opportunity for us. And we're going to be able to find that path forward and come up with a set of recommendations because of leaders like this and so many others that are across our state, and so many other examples that we can look to highlight, to learn from, and to figure out how to scale over the coming years. So again, thank you so much for everyone for being here. I'm happy to have any of us. I know we have some media in the room. If folks have any questions for us while we're up here, or if you want to do individual interviews with any of us, happy to do that now. But before we conclude, are there any questions that folks want to ask us as a group? Okay. All right. Thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your day.